And be honest with yourself. When was the last time you saw someone's post, maybe a coworker's brand new BMW, or your college friend's kitchen renovation, or somebody on TikTok flexing a Rolex, and for just a second, you felt something? Something else, something uncomfortable, like, why don't I have that? And then, here's the part nobody admits, you went and bought something, upgraded something, booked something, because that feeling needed to go away. It's called social comparison, and in America right now, it is the most expensive feeling that you will ever have. It doesn't matter if you make $50,000 a year or $150,000 a year. Social comparison will drain your bank account either way, and the companies that run your social media feed are making billions of dollars counting on it. I'm Marcus. This is Macro Finance, and today I'm going to show you exactly how this trap works, what it's actually costing you in real dollars, and how to break out of it for good. Let's go. Part 1. The Middle Class and the Joneses. The Joneses used to live next door. You've probably heard the phrase, keeping up with the Joneses, an old American saying. It means trying to match your neighbor's lifestyle, the nicer car, the bigger backyard, the vacation they just got back from. For most of human history, you could only compare yourself to roughly 150 people, your neighborhood, your church, your workplace. That was the natural limit of human social comparison. Then we put a supercomputer in everybody's pocket, and the Joneses moved in. Now the average American is comparing themselves to 400, 500, 600 people simultaneously every single day through Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. And every single one of those people is showing their absolute best moments. The new car reveal, the kitchen after the renovation, the resort pool selfie, the unboxing, the little treat haul. Nobody posts the credit card statement that paid for it. Marcus's story, Dallas, Texas. Let me make this real for you. Marcus is 32 years old. He lives in a suburb outside of Dallas, Texas. He makes $82,000 a year, a solid, comfortable middle-class income. After federal taxes and Social Security, Texas has no state income tax, so he keeps a little extra. Marcus takes home about $5,100 a month. Marcus is not irresponsible. He pays his rent on time. He has a Honda Accord that is fully paid off. He saves a little every month. By every standard measure, Marcus is doing just fine. But Marcus follows 430 people on Instagram. And last Tuesday, his college roommate Tyler posted a photo of a brand new BMW 3 Series in his driveway. Silver, clean, beautiful. 47 likes in the first hour. And Marcus, who was sitting perfectly comfortable in his paid-off Honda Accord, suddenly felt behind. By Thursday, Marcus was on the BMW website for 90 minutes, configuring a $53,000 car. He wasn't planning to buy it, he was just feeling it out, letting the thought live in his head. And that feeling, that restless, I need to upgrade feeling, is the most profitable feeling in American consumer culture. Because it doesn't stop at car websites, it spills into every spending decision Marcus makes for the rest of that week. Here's how big this problem is right now. A 2024 survey found that 43% of Americans said that they had gone into debt to keep up with the spending habits of friends or family. Not to survive, not for a medical emergency.
To keep up appearances. The middle class is getting hit hardest because they have just enough income to make the comparison purchase possible, but not enough financial cushion to absorb the damage afterward. Part 2. The Brain Science. Why you cannot stop comparing. Let me explain what is happening inside your brain, because once you see the mechanism, you can't unsee it, and that knowledge is your first real defense. In 1954, a psychologist named Leon Festinger published what became one of the most cited theories in all of social psychology. He called it social comparison theory, and his core finding was simple. Humans are hardwired to evaluate themselves by comparing themselves to other people. It is not a character flaw. It is a survival instinct built over tens of thousands of years. When you knew where you stood in your tribe, how much status you had, how many resources, how much respect, you survived. Low status in a tribe meant less food, less protection, less chance of building a future. Comparison kept people alive. The problem? Your 40,000-year-old brain is now running inside a world of iPhones, Instagram algorithms, and BMW dealerships, and it cannot tell the difference. The status purchase loop. Here is the exact sequence that happens in Marcus's brain when Tyler sees Tyler's BMW on Instagram. I want you to understand every single step. Step 1. Marcus sees the post. His brain scans it and registers a status gap. I have something Tyler doesn't. I may be falling behind. This triggers a small but real spike in cortisol, your stress hormone. It's subtle. Marcus doesn't consciously notice it, but his body does. Step 2. That cortisol creates low-level anxiety, restlessness, a feeling that something needs to be fixed. Step 3. The brain offers a solution. Acquire something that signals equal or higher status, a car upgrade, a new outfit, a vacation post, anything that visually communicates, I'm doing fine too. Step 4. The moment Marcus decides he's going to look into a car upgrade, dopamine floods in. The cortisol drops. He feels good, relieved, excited. Problem solved. Step 5. The credit card bill arrives. Cortisol spikes again, and the whole loop restarts. Your stress hormone sells you a BMW, your dopamine closes the deal, and your credit card pays the bill. Now, here's the part that should make you genuinely angry. Instagram, TikTok, and every major social platform knows this loop exists. Their product teams, their data scientists, their behavioral researchers, they've mapped it, studied it, and built their entire engagement model around it. Think about every feature on Instagram: follower counts, like counts, verified badges, close friends stories. These are status signals deliberately designed to make you measure yourself against others continuously. And the algorithm does not surface content that makes you feel satisfied. A satisfied person closes the app. The algorithm shows you content that keeps you in a state of mild aspiration, slightly envious, slightly inadequate, because that emotional tension keeps you scrolling. And the longer you scroll, the more ads you are served. Your social anxiety is their annual revenue report. Meta, Instagram's parent company, generated $134 billion in ad revenue in 2023. The primary product they sold to advertisers? Your attention, captured at the exact moment your comparison instincts were firing.
Part 3. American Brand Examples. The Car Status Game. Let's start with cars, because in the United States, your car is your most visible daily status symbol. You drive it to work, you park it in front of your house, it follows you everywhere. The average new car payment in America right now is $740 per month. Average loan term, 72 months, 6 years. And research from Experian found that 44% of car buyers said the desire to drive a nicer car than friends or family was a significant factor in their purchase decision. Not safety ratings, not fuel efficiency, not reliability. The desire to look more successful than people they know. Marcus's Honda Accord is paid off, $0 a month. But after the BMW Instagram scroll, he's at the dealership seriously considering a $53,000 BMW 3 Series. Financed over 72 months at 7.5% APR, that's $923 a month, plus a $180 insurance increase. That's $1,103 every single month, $13,236 per year for a car that gets him to the same Starbucks drive-thru his Honda already does. Over 6 years, $79,416 for a badge on the hood.
The vacation status spiral. Jordan is 29. She lives outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. She just got back from a perfectly great trip to the Florida Keys. 5 days, relaxed, refreshing, cost about $1,400. The week after she gets home, her friend posts a full album from a Cabo San Lucas resort in Mexico. Infinity pool, ocean view suite, $40 cocktails in crystal glasses. Jordan doesn't need another vacation. She literally just had one. But within 48 hours, she's booked a $3,800 all-inclusive resort trip to Cancun with a suite upgrade she absolutely did not need on a credit card at 22% APR. Not because she was unfulfilled, because a social media post made her trip feel ordinary. A 2023 Bankrate survey found that 36% of Americans financed their most recent vacation with debt. Over 1/3 of this country goes into debt for a trip, partly to experience it and partly to post about it. Nike, Jordan Brand, and the sneaker economy. Nike and Jordan Brand use a strategy called artificial scarcity, limited edition releases, small quantities, hype, FOMO, lines around the block. These shoes aren't rare because they're hard to make. They're rare by design, because scarcity creates status, and status creates comparison pressure. The sneaker resale market in America is now worth over $6 billion, and a huge portion of that market is driven by young Americans paying $300, $400, $500 for shoes that retail at $120. Not for comfort, not for performance, for the social signal of owning them. Peloton and the wellness status symbol. Last one, and this one has exploded since 2020. Peloton bikes, Lululemon, Whoop trackers, Stanley Cups. These are not just fitness products, they are identity products. They signal discipline, self-investment, and disposable income all at once. A Peloton bike costs $1,445 upfront. The membership is $44 a month. And studies consistently show that the majority of home exercise equipment ends up as expensive coat racks within 18 months. Because the purchase was never really about fitness. It was about being the kind of person who has a Peloton, the social identity it signals. Once the Instagram story is posted, the bike has done its real job. Part 4. The Real Dollar Math. Marcus's Annual Comparison Bill. Let me build out exactly what comparison-driven spending costs Marcus in a single year. These are not extreme purchases. These are normal, everyday American middle-class decisions, all triggered by social comparison. The BMW 3 Series lease, because he saw Tyler's post, $13,236 a year. The Cancun resort trip, because his friend posted Cabo, $3,800. A Peloton bike and 12 months of membership because his coworkers set up a home gym, $1,973. A full wardrobe refresh because he kept seeing influencer content and his closet suddenly felt wrong, $1,800. A kitchen backsplash renovation financed through a home equity line because Instagram Reels made his functional kitchen look dated, $3,500. Total comparison spending for 1 year, $24,309. Marcus earns $82,000 a year. His take-home after taxes is around $61,200. He spent 40% of his entire annual take-home income trying to feel like he was keeping up with people who were probably doing the exact same thing to keep up with him. What this costs over 30 years. Now here is the number that I want you to actually feel. What if Marcus invested that $24,039 every single year instead of spending it on comparison purchases? S&P 500 Index Fund, 10% average annual return, the historical long-term average. After 5 years, $155,942. After 10 years, $425,031. After 20 years, $1,543,086. $887. After 30 years, $4,512,061. $4.5 million. Not from some extraordinary investment strategy, not from a high-risk gamble, from one ordinary guy in Dallas who simply stopped letting other people's Instagram posts make his financial decisions. Every time you spend money to impress someone online, you're handing your future self a bill they didn't agree to pay. Part 5. 5 Practical Solutions. Okay, I'm not going to tell you to delete Instagram and move to a cabin in Montana. That is not the point. The goal is not to stop comparing. You can't. It's hardwired into you. The goal is to catch the trigger before it becomes a transaction. Here are 5 things you can start today. Number 1, the 48-hour comparison pause. Anytime you feel the urge to buy, upgrade, or book something immediately after spending time on social media, stop. Write down what you want and exactly why. Be completely honest with yourself. I want a BMW because I saw Tyler's post and felt behind. Wait 48 hours. Reread what you wrote. In most cases, the cortisol spike will have fully normalized, and you'll see the $53,000 car for what it actually is. $79,000 over 6 years to feel adequate on a Tuesday. Research shows this single habit reduces impulse purchases by up to 70%. Number 2, the unfollow audit. This week, go through every account you follow and ask honestly, does this account make me feel inspired or does it make me feel behind? Inspired is fine. Behind? Unfollow. No guilt, no explanation needed. Your attention is your most valuable financial asset. Every account that makes you feel inadequate is a direct line to your wallet. Guard it. Number 3, define your enough number. Write down 3 numbers right now: your current net worth, your monthly savings rate, and your investment account balance. These are your real scorecard, not Tyler's BMW, not Jordan's Cabo photos. When you know what enough looks like for your life, your specific goals, your specific vision of financial freedom, external comparisons lose their grip. You cannot be manipulated by a benchmark you have consciously rejected. Number 4, pay yourself first. On payday, before you open a single app, before you check a single email, an automatic transfer goes to your investment account, a Roth IRA, an S&P 500 index fund, whatever your vehicle is. Marcus sets up an automatic $800 transfer on the 1st and 15th of every month. It never hits his checking account. He cannot spend what he never sees. That's $9,600 a year invested before comparison spending gets a single vote. Pay yourself first. Then the algorithm can show you whatever it wants. You have won. Number 5, change your reference group.
The people you spend the most real-life time with set your spending normal. If your closest friends talk about new cars, new gear, and restaurant tabs every weekend, that becomes your baseline. Find or build a social circle that values financial intentionality. People who talk about their investment returns, who drive paid-off cars without apology, who define success by freedom, not by what they can display. This is not about being cheap. It's about choosing your comparison group deliberately, so the people you naturally measure yourself against are pulling you toward wealth, not away from it. Part 6. Before you close this video, I want to leave you with one thought. Nobody on Instagram is posting their credit card statement. Nobody is showing the 3 a.m. anxiety about whether they can make next month's car payment. The life you're spending thousands of dollars to imitate is largely a performance. And here's the cruel irony. The people you're comparing yourself to, they're comparing themselves to someone else. The comparison chain never ends because it was never designed to end. It was designed to keep you spending. Real wealth in America is quiet.
The people with genuine financial freedom drive paid-off cars. They cook at home. They don't need you to know what they're worth because they already know. They are not performing for anyone. They opted out of the comparison game entirely, and they won. Stop spending money you don't have to impress people you barely know, to buy a feeling that won't last the week. Your future self is watching every single swipe of that card. If this video changed how you see your spending, hit that like button right now. It takes 2 seconds and it helps this channel reach more Americans who need to hear this message. Comment below with this one thing. What is one comparison purchase you are walking away from this week? Write it down. Make it real. I read every single comment. And subscribe to Macro Finance for more. We break down the psychology and the math behind money in America every single week. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.